What's up and welcome to Idle Insights, a show where each week I, Treavor Bettis, talk to interesting people about idle champions and Dungeons and Dragons. And with me this week is Mars, who's really close to his camera.
Welcome! I am here.
That's right, he's invaded.
Yes, we were talking about Dark Souls and Elden Ring earlier, so... Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I have invaded.
Yeah.
You have
Oh, I get you now. But hey, Mars, how's it going?
Pretty good. This is
That's
my third
good.
stream of the day, so, like, it's starting to wear on me, but also, like, I mean, I'm a limitless ball of hype in general. As soon as the camera's actually rolling, I perk right back up,
Somebody
so...
put that on a shirt for him, please. A limitless ball of hype.
It's accurate.
Yeah.
What
And
I do.
speaking of hype, we got some hype because today was your 250th episode of Mars's Guiding Hand.
Wait, was it?
Was it?
No one told me!
Oh, wow.
Ah, man, I should have done something special for that.
Yeah, you should have.
Ah,
You really
what a
missed
waste.
out on that.
yeah, really, what a wasted opportunity.
I mean,
Ah.
I thought this was the celebration, so I thought you were just doing a normal episode and then you
Yeah.
come here to celebrate.
You know, if I had, I would have probably, like, maybe the first roughly 17 minutes of the episode, maybe I would have done, like, a really specific gag. I think that could have been a fun way
Very
to lead
specific.
into it. If I
Very
had,
specific.
just, theoretically.
Yeah.
But, yeah, today was 250 episodes.
Yeah,
so,
nothing special. Just a normal day.
yeah. 250,000. That's a lot of time.
That is.
That's a lot of streaming time.
I've never heard of 250 as a 250,000, but I mean, you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I do everything by fractions now.
Oh, okay.
That's a life choice I've decided to make for myself. Numbers are hard. I play a lot of this game called Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. You might have heard of it. And numbers are really hard, so I'm just going to do fractions from now on.
You're not gonna be happy until you're up to E1 episodes.
Yes! Oh my god, yes. I need a scientific notation, and then I can retire. I should get a trophy if I manage to get that far.
Yeah,
Goodness.
you just do all of your episodes in scientific notation. Then that also sounds terrifying.
You know, you're joking, but I really like that idea.
That would be like such a barrier to entry though for people where they like, okay, what episode number is this? What?
Well, sit down. Do you have time for a math lesson?
Do you have time for math? We're here to teach you math. Someone says E1 episodes is 10, so technically you are doing that. See, this is how bad I am with scientific notation.
So what I need is E3 to get to 1,000. Yeah, and then E4 would be 10,000, etc.
See, I don't.
Yeah.
I changed it to it.
E3. That's the goal.
I changed it to it, and I just see the last number, and I go by that. That's all I do. I don't know how it actually works. But speaking of how it actually works, fun fact for all of you out there in chat and the future YouTubes, long time ago, Mars and I were on a podcast.
Yeah, you do those sometimes.
I do those sometimes, and me and my co-host Ali Deichman had Mars on our show Difficulty Class to talk about his new show,
Yes.
Mars's Guiding Hand.
Uh-huh.
And now here we are sitting on Idle Insights.
Yeah. So basically, Trevor and I go way back.
Yeah.
It's a professional relationship. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Way back, whole
Pretty
year
cool.
2019.
We lift each other up. Going the distance together. Yeah.
Actually, no, I think that was 2020. That was 2020, yeah.
It is pretty wild to consider, like, from humble beginnings to here, this, now.
Yeah.
You're hosting Idle Insights. I'm guesting on it with
Yeah.
you. Wow. You're the
Yeah.
community manager. I'm a content creator. This is wild.
Yeah. But yeah, if you haven't listened to that episode, I don't blame you, because I only say it at the end of every episode. Well, Champions lore, not on this one, but I talked to you about like your start with Twitch streaming, and you actually brought it up recently on a few streams about that the reason behind your name, Storyteller Mars,
Yes.
is because you used to be a storyteller on
Yes.
Twitch.
Yeah, people ask occasionally, like, why I go by Storyteller Mars, and so it comes up maybe once every couple of months. I end up having to explain it on stream because people inevitably ask about it, and that is how I started, because once upon a time, I was dirt poor, and I had a terrible computer. my computer that I have now is the first computer that I've ever bought for myself using the money that I've made from streaming for Idle Champions. But
Same.
it all started with a terrible computer, but it was enough. It was a gift, a hand-me-down from friends in college. I wanted to stream. I felt like I had the personality for it. And I asked my best friend in college, and he was like, "Oh yeah, no, absolutely, you're perfect for this." And he is a very honest individual, so I trust his judgment. So I wanted to get into it, but I knew I wouldn't be able to stream a video game, Trevor. The computer would explode if I streamed a video game, Trevor.
I remember trying to stream a game on my old computer even before I had my laptop, and I thought the computer was going to melt. I touched it and it hurt.
Yes, you could cook an egg on that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I ended up looking around and saying, like, what can I do then? And what I ended up settling on was reading public domain literature and poetry live on stream for the first time. They were blind reads. I'd never read these things before, and I did voice acting for all the characters, and it was a ton of fun.
I actually wanted to talk about, like, 'cause you do that now on Mars's Guiding Hand.
Yeah.
When there's new content that comes out, you're doing that yesterday with Vecna Lives and everything like
really
that.
Fun.
And I have to commend you on that, because that is extremely impressive to me, because I cannot do that. The only way I can actually read something out loud is if I have read it in the last 30 minutes already. I will stumble over my words. I will get messed up and everything. That is not only do you read it for the first time there, but you're doing voices and stuff like that.
Yes.
That is very, very impressive.
And the only reason I can do that on the Idle Champion shows is because of my background doing that on my own channel. I have over 500 videos of me reading books and poetry live.
That's wild.
I did it for a while.
Would you cut up the books into parts, or like were you trying to do them all in one? Okay.
I did like a chapter a day for novels.
Oh.
Or like a grouping of maybe a dozen poems per stream, until eventually we just worked our way through the whole book.
I have to wonder if there's anyone out there that started watching you do those and then followed you to doing Idle Champion stuff and started playing because of that. That'd be an interesting path of a person getting into Idle Champions. Like, well, I started watching this guy read books one day.
Yeah, it's a very natural progression. The Mars reading books to playing a Dungeons and Dragons formation strategy idle clicker game pipeline. Yeah.
It's fair. But yeah, so that you did that. How long did you do that for? You said 500 episodes, but like, how long was that?
At least a full calendar year. It is how I went from like nothing to at least making affiliate was by doing that.
Oh, you made affiliate on that too. Wow,
I made affiliate off of that. Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty great. I had people who tuned in regularly to use my stream as a sleep aid. They would tell me, and like, that wasn't insulting to me. I liked that I was able to like help people relax and find some peace in this world for at least a few minutes. It was very nice. I miss doing it sometimes. I would like to get back to doing it eventually, but life is busy and getting busier.
That is true. It is life is a never-ending field of getting more complicated. So you did that for a year, and so how did Mars's Guiding Hand become a thing?
Oh my god, I was hoping you'd ask. So it started because of my obsession with Idle Champions, right?
I'd hope so.
There was I didn't just decide to start streaming this game I'd never heard of. That's a fair assumption, Trevor. Yes, I was already obsessed with Idle Champions. Yeah, and I knew that I was really enjoying streaming, and I did want to get into streaming video games, but again, I wouldn't be able to stream like a really high-end video game. Well, look at Idle Champions. It's an idle clicking formation strategy D&D video game, and I love D&D games, so let's do that one. Sure, why not? I started doing that, and I was enjoying it. I did also just absolute shot in the dark cold call email to Codename Entertainment to ask for a job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there you go.
And it's funny because Eric told me that he was browsing Twitter when he saw me tweet about sending in an important email that could change my life. And then he saw the email notification.
That's really funny.
Yeah, like it's very serendipitous, you know? So then what that led to was a phone call with Eric where he said, like, well, how do you feel about streaming? Like, oh,
That's not how Eric sounds for everyone out there.
I just needed to use some voice.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, Eric asked me how I feel about streaming, and I just, well, yeah, sure, okay, let's talk. We met up at Gen Con and had dinner. Me and my partner Lyra, him and Mitra, we all met together for a dinner.
That's
and
awesome.
It was lovely. It was my first Gen Con as well, and what that ended up being was a couple months later, Mars Guiding Hand was born. At that point, I'd already done 20 streams on my own channel for Idle Champions, and then became like an official thing. Ooh. It was just weekly though.
Yeah.
And I was just a contractor for.
Yeah, and I mean that was only the second stream, right? Because I think Idle Insights had been going at that time.
Yeah.
You think I know the history of the show that I host better than I do, but I don't.
I think Griddle Champions.
No, that definitely started during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Garwar
So I think
came shortly before. I mean, we were all like tightly grouped together.
Yes.
That's why it's those three shows that have songs from Bardic Inspiration, because we were the first three overall. Yeah. But boy, yeah, I was very early on as a talent being tapped for Idle Champions streams on the Cine Games channel. Hi, everybody on the Cine Games chat. Hello.
By the way, we're live, just to answer everybody in chat.
Yes. This is very live.
Yes.
Not pre-recorded.
No. Actually, I saw this in chat. Now I'm thinking about it. Have you been on any pre-recorded thing for CNE?
No. I've never thought about that. No. I don't think I ever have for anything.
Yeah,
in the years that I've done this.
I'm trying to think, and I can't think of anything. I think anytime you have seen Mars, it has been live, unless you're on YouTube, obviously.
Huh.
Well,
yeah.
There you go.
Weird. I don't know. Like, I wonder if I've even been like considered for a pre-recorded thing, or if it's just like an assumed thing. Like, no, Mars is the live guy.
It's also more of just like, hey, Mars, can you do this at this time? Yes. So
that's true.
There's never been a need to do that. Yep.
I have a hard time saying no, as you well know. Yeah. But it's because I care. It's because I want to make a good impression on everybody, and I want Idle Champions and Codename to be as good as it possibly can. And so to whatever end that I can help make those things a reality, I'm going to.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, again, we're live. You can put questions into the chat with question, colon, and then a question, and then we'll get to those at the end of the episode. But before we get to that, so you got Mars' Guiding Hand. I
do.
Okay. I don't know if I can't remember if I asked this on difficulty class. What went into like the naming of the show? Like, did they ask you what did you want your show name to be, or?
Basically, yes. It was a very open-ended conversation. The ball was in my court. And at the time, I was thinking of like, ooh, what if I made it a reference to Idle Champions itself somehow, some kind of a clever little, cute little reference. And I actually asked the Discord for help with this without letting them know what I was doing. I was like, I'm working on resources, and this is true, I wasn't lying.
Yeah.
I'm working on resources, and it would be super helpful if I had just like a huge list of all of the ability names in the game. And that did actually end up being useful for other reasons. But the ulterior motive was being able to read through this and being like, oh, I like that one, I like that one, I like that one, I like that one. I took my favorite 10, sent them over to Dylan. He chopped it down to 3, then we discussed it from there, and what we settled on was Guiding Hand, and that's one of Azaka's abilities in the game.
Oh.
That's her gold find ability.
That's great. That's awesome.
So Azaka has a soft spot in my heart because I stole the name from her.
Well, I mean, fun fact, like I love that sort of naming when it's about like when it's a show or something that is about another property. I do really love when it's some kind of play on a word or words that are in that. I mean, like I said, my old show was called Difficulty Class, which is the DC in D&D.
Respect. It's a wonderful name.
Yeah, and it was one of those that like I thought about where I'm like, okay, I do want it to be something that is part of not just D&D, but like role playing in general. And the DCs show up all over the place. You get target number in some places, but the like one of my friends used to have a Pokemon trading card podcast, and he called it Prize Count. Because that is the 6 cards on the side.
When you knock out the Pokemon, you pick up a prize. Yeah. I forgot that we called them prizes. I played a lot of the Pokemon card game.
Yeah. And I collected it and never learned how to play it until my nephews wanted to play it. I loved that idea of it. And so Mars's Guiding Hand was such a great title for that because it just ties it all together.
It does. Yeah, I like when it's like subtle references to a thing. It's the same kind of thing that I like about merchandise. Like, this hat doesn't say Dungeons and Dragons on it. It just has the cool ampersand dragon logo. And so, like, if you already know about D&D, then you recognize the logo, and then it feels like a secret handshake between people. So that's really cool. I like the same thing for media in general.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I gotta ask this one. Okay. How'd your first show go?
Can we skip the question? No, it was... okay, at the time, I thought, that was okay. And then, when I did my episode 100 special, which was back in December of last year, one of the things that I did was we did like a montage of watching clips and things from past episodes, and one of them I did include was portions of episode 1, so that we could see how drastically different it was. My beard was out to here.
Oh, was it really?
It was really.
Oh, that's right. I remember the old artwork for it. Yeah, you had the big beard.
No hat, beard down to here. Terrible lighting, terrible sound mixing. It was just, in a lot of ways, awful that I didn't pick up on at the time because I was still such a little baby in the world of streaming that I didn't know the difference. Streaming is one of those things that you can't really study. You just have to get in there and do the thing and learn from mistakes and get better or dissolve trying. Yeah.
Dissolve.
I didn't want to say die, Trevor. So.
That's fair. That's fair. You just decided to go with the gelatinous cube version.
Yeah.
No, I totally get that. I mean, the same thing for me with podcasting and whatnot, where I just jumped in and started doing it, started recording episodes in my car on AirPods. Fun fact, that's not great audio.
But you have to get started somewhere, anywhere.
I went back and listened to some of those old episodes when I was kind of archiving them for other things. Yeah. And it was funny because like I heard everything that was wrong with it, all the formatting stuff that didn't work and everything like that. But at the same time though, and I'm sure you had the same thing looking at yourself though, there were still things where you're like, wow, I'm actually impressed that I had that down that early.
Yeah. Yeah. I think my presentation style was good. Like I had confidence, but not the same level of energy. It's like I was afraid to be myself, but I was still confident in my ability to do a good show and help people and inform people and answer questions and all of that. So, yeah, there was still definitely like some nuggets of gold in there that I was able to, keep polished over the years.
It's like, oh, okay. Like for me, I was just like, oh, okay, well, it wasn't. I didn't completely waste my time, but like that's the thing. Like, it absolutely isn't wasted time because you are learning. You just may not realize it. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, now so that you did episode 1 back in like I think it was either 2019 or 2020. And
I think it was January 2020.
Was it January?
But I'm
What's
not
funny is
confident.
I remember because we on difficulty class we would do news segments at the beginning of every episode, and one of them was the announcement that they were going to be doing a new stream called Mars's Guiding Hand.
Yeah.
That's I mean that's just wild. That's just wild.
Yeah, I am, of course, pleasantly surprised, but surprised nonetheless that it's still a thing.
It's
I
still
must
a
be
thing.
doing something right because it hasn't been canceled.
It's true. I mean, not just has it not been canceled, it is now more than once a week.
Yes. They brought me on as a staff member, for crying out loud, so yes.
Yeah, yeah. So how has that been going from one stream to doing like the morning streams and stuff like that?
So it is an interesting shift because when I streamed on my own channel, I did stream like every day. It wasn't very often that I would take days off, and I would feel super guilty about it if I like took any days off. So no, I streamed regularly and for like 4 hours or more. So going from that to one show a week for 2 hours for Guiding Hand felt like, oh, I'm being so limited here. I know I could give so much if they would just let me. Oh, lament. And now I do something every day, and it's like, okay, I feel good again. Like that, I can breathe better because now I can get all of this energy out of me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you do stream every single day. Yeah, you have Mars on Monday. You got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Thursday. I mean, it's the Mars day. Oh well, it's like no, yeah, because you're not on Formation Save anymore, but you're still doing Community Q&A. So there is still
they moved me to Formation Save Tuesday.
That's
so that I've got one show Monday, 2 shows Tuesday, 1 show Wednesday, 2 shows Thursday, 1 show Friday.
There you go. There you go. And today you got 3.
Today I have 3. Yeah, because I'm not going to say no, Trevor. We covered that.
Yeah, yeah.
And besides, I actually did genuinely want to. I've always thought this is one of the coolest shows that we do because you talk to some of the absolute coolest people in the D&D industry.
So, they are cool people. I'm just here to get them to be cool.
Being able to say that, like, oh yeah, I've been on that show too. We're basically peers. It's nice.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've totally done that when I've guested on some podcasts. I was like, you know who else has been on this podcast? Yeah, that is always fun to do. But yeah, so so you've been doing Mars Guiding Hand for quite a while, and then you have this other show, Mars on Mondays.
Yes, there's only been 9 episodes of that so far. It's the newest baby show that we have on C&E Games. I was trying to remember the Twitch channel name for a second there. Anyway, it's like this show, but different.
Mm-hmm.
I've always felt like this is more of like a more formal interview, if that makes sense, compared to like I would compare Mars on Monday as being like a water cooler chat.
Mm-hmm.
It's less formal. I'm allergic to formal over there. Mm-mm. I don't wear the hat. I wear like a flamboyant shirt instead, just very colorful, and I try to have a whole different vibe to that particular show. Yeah.
Ah, see, you could have called it Vibe Check with Mars.
Okay, I could have, but I'll mention before Mars Guiding Hand was Mars Guiding Hand when I streamed it on my own channel, I called it Mars on Monday.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I knew where that came from, and I knew you were going to get to that.
Yeah. So I finally got Mars on Monday as a C&E show. My master plan is evolving. Everything's falling into place. Yeah. But it's cool because it's like my opportunity. I felt like there was an opportunity, something that we were missing, where we talk about Idle Champions all the time, and we have like really cool art streams, and we have really cool just other kinds of streams. But something we didn't have was a just chatting category stream, which is like the most watched category on all of Twitch. And I also saw it as an opportunity to get people in our player community, or just the people that just watch our shows in general, even if they don't play Idle Champions, to get to know the people who work at Code Entertainment as actual human beings with real lives. Mm-hmm. Because we are actual human beings with real lives.
It's true.
Hobbies and interests and hopes and dreams and fears. And so this was my way of implementing that, so that you could get to know the faces behind the names that make the games that you plays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you said you got 9 episodes now, right? Why are you hiding?
No, I like moving. I don't like staying in one position for too long, Trevor.
Yeah, but you were just ahead.
Yeah.
Like, because the way it's cropped, you were just ahead.
I could tell. I can see our output. Yeah, 9 so far. Episode 10 coming up this upcoming Monday with a very special guest. And no, it's not Trevor. I already had Trevor on.
It's true. Already been there. Missed it.
Eventually, I'll ask you again. But I want to see if I can get through other people first.
That's fair. Yeah. Yeah, no, when you asked me to be on there, you're just like, yeah, it's just us talking. I'm like, I don't got to be on or anything like that. You're like, no, not really. I'm like, great. This is gonna be great. So I just talked about
pretty much
lightsabers
just
and
a
stuff for a
chill
while.
hangout time for the guest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just take it easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it's the best.
Should I spoil who my guest is?
I mean, if you want to, it's up to you.
I feel like this would be a really cool time to do it. Actually,
Go for it. Stage is yours.
Chris Dupuis is going to be my guest.
You got Dupuis to be on a stream?
Yes, I know,
Folks,
right?
I want you to know this is a big deal.
This is a big deal.
Big deal.
That's rare. Yeah, he agreed to come on.
Lauren put the shocked emoji in the chat. That's how big this is.
Yeah. He agreed that he would come on if a certain particular marketing purpose, right? So I was like, well, September.
Anniversary.
September is popping off. Maybe you haven't noticed, but September's a big deal in general. It's our anniversary and all kinds of cool stuff is happening. So do you wanna come on? He's like, yeah, sure, great, let's do it. So yeah, we're gonna have Dupuis on Monday.
That's
and it's gonna
awesome.
Be great.
I'm gonna have to be sure to tune in for that one.
Please
That's
do.
fantastic. So I mean, I guess one of the things I want to ask is like, what is it about streaming that you just like, you love it? Like, I enjoy streaming.
Yeah.
You love streaming.
I do. Yeah. I will couch this by saying it's not all fun and games. Streaming is stressful.
Yeah.
And there's a difficulty curve. But yeah, I do seriously, genuinely really enjoy doing it a great deal. So to actually answer your question, Trevor, I'm a theater kid with stage fright. I have the heart of a theater kid magnified to the heat of a golden sun. But I can't stand the idea of seeing people's faces watching me en masse. So, remove that element and I'm good.
Oh man, I can't wait for a few years when we're just like, so Mars, we're doing Mars' Guiding Hand live at PAX. Get ready, boy.
I would agree, but whew, I would probably not be at my best.
At first you're like, no, and we're like, but we're going to stream it. And you're like, dang it.
I would say yes, but I would probably be fine.
Yeah.
But my anxiety would probably be eating at me. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I mean, you're first off 100% right. Streaming gets this weird rep of just like, oh, you're just playing video games. It's like, I mean, yeah, that is a part of it. That is a thing that happens on there.
Yeah.
But you try and host a show and talk to chat and keep everything going and keeping everything, working fine and everything like that. I mean, heck, right now, with Mars and I, there are 4 people that make this stream possible working smoothly. If we had one less of those people, it would be more stressful. If we had 2 less of those people, it would be just terrifying. And so
if we didn't have Martin modding for us, this would be so much harder.
Yeah.
If we didn't have Lauren producing for us, this would be impossible.
It's true.
Thank you, Lauren. True. Thank you, Martin.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it does have this weird look of like, oh, it's just so easy, but like, I mean, even when I was just doing Champions of Lore and I was doing streaming on my own channel, I was doing 3 times a week, and I found that super stressful, and to the point that my wife was like, hey, I think you need to cut back the amount you're streaming. And so that's why I took it down to just once a week playing with my friends and stuff like that. Because, yeah, just being on stream by See, that's the thing that actually blows me the most with you is being on stream by myself, I hate.
Really?
I can't. I can do it, but it is more stressful. Like, when I was on my own channel and stuff like that, I did have a cheat code for me where if like let's say there's nobody in the chat because you start your own Twitch channel, that's gonna be how it is. But I would upload those later to YouTube, and so I would still be on for the people watching later on YouTube. So I would still give an entertaining show for YouTube, and then if anyone came in on the Twitch chat, awesome, cool, great. So I was on that entire time, and it was just it was a lot. But when I have another person on, like we have right now, like I'm so much more comfortable in a conversation, and passing topics back and forth and stuff like that. That's the way that I operate. I mean, again, I come from podcasting. I know there's podcasts with only one people out there, and they're good too.
Yeah, they're fine.
But real quick though, looks like we're gonna be doing a giveaway here in the chat. So I don't know what the keyword is yet, but
I know it.
Get ready. Oh, you do?
It's Mars 250.
Oh, there it is.
Thank you, Martin. That's very nice. I appreciate that, buddy.
I didn't have that part open. I'm silly. Yeah, so put in all lowercase Mars 250 for a chance to win 42 chests of one type, except Bahamut.
Modron, go for Modron. It's the best one. Go for Modron.
Or do whatever you want. Do what your heart desires.
Or do whatever you
Don't
want.
let the meta dictate your life. You live your best life. You do you.
Yeah. Basically anything, but not Glory Bahamut chest. We don't do that one.
This is one reason why I always like stream with you on C&E, because you give legitimately good advice. I'm just like, be an agent of chaos. I'm gonna be the devil on your shoulder. Do whatever you want.
Well, see, when I'm on my own show, I do both sides of that. Like, I'll give the advice for playing optimally to a point, because Garwar is just straight up better at optimizing than me, for example. But also, yeah, just do what you want. Like, do what makes you happy. It just so happens that for some people, doing what makes them happy is optimizing.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, there's different ways to play the game.
Yeah.
Yourself.
I mean, that's one of the great things that about it, is that you can just do whatever the heck you want, or you can follow the meta, and you can still have fun either way.
What were we talking about before the giveaway?
Me not liking being by myself on stream.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to talk about that a little bit, because like I have a weirdly inverse problem. I have rarely, at this point in my professional career, streamed with other people. It's only something that I've more recently stepped into doing. You and I have done a couple of D&D games together.
Yeah.
Whether you're running them or I'm running them or whoever. And now I'm here. But it's a drop in a bucket compared to how many hours I have of solo streaming experience. So, like it or not, that's my wheelhouse. I would like to be better at being more comfortable and knowing when to shut up so that other people can talk. I do struggle with that, as you're probably noticing, Twitch chat.
Actually, you've been doing great.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm very self-conscious about it. I don't want to override other people, We
I get
all
that.
need our moment in the sun.
No, yeah, that is the only thing that I can say for why I enjoy podcasting and talking with people on shows like this and everything like that is because I worked as a parking lot attendant for 6 years and only had podcasts in my ear the entire time. So I know what I want to hear, and so I'm doing my best to make sure that is what's being heard. But if I hadn't done that, yeah, I probably would just be stammering over everything. But yeah, no, it's 250 episodes though. How's that feel?
Complicated?
Here, let me make it more complicated for you.
Sure.
Because that means this 250 episodes. How long are your shows?
My shows are standard 2 hours each. Sometimes I might have to end
bare
early for technical
minimum
difficulties or
bare minimum 500 hours of streaming, just Mars's Guiding Hand.
I think if you took into account all of the other shows that I have been on,
oh yeah,
and that would make up for ending early or having to cancel shows or whatever, any technical difficulty. So I think overall, you could probably say that yeah, I've had minimum 500 hours of streaming on this channel.
Sorry, I know I said that I wasn't gonna read anything from chat until the end, but when people were putting in Mars 250, someone put Straw 250.
Hey, I appreciate
That's
those
really
of you
good.
who
That's
know
really
that
good.
joke. That I wasn't expecting that. I thought that joke was over. Yeah.
For those who don't know, watching later, what is this joke, real quick?
People like to clip my random antics on the show, and I was trying to give an example about like of something from the perspective of Strahd von Zarevich in game, and I led by saying I am Strahd, and someone clipped my monologue
That's
where
so
I
good.
started with that.
I am Strahd.
And people just started saying that, like, oh yeah, Mars is Strahd. Like, oh hey Strahd, how's it going? Okay, I'm not actually. I was playing a character. I'm not really a first vampire dark lord of the land, and I'm not him. God, I wish I was him.
Well, tell you what, we actually have quite a few questions here. Why don't we start
As
getting into
expected.
those?
I would love to. It's pretty much my job is answering questions. So.
It's true. It's true. So let's go for this.
All right.
Lurky Ricer's question: is this live or pre-recorded? It is live.
Oh, it is. Oh
it
man,
is.
I thought
Actual
we were recording
question, says Lurking Writer.
Mm.
How are you both, and what one game mechanic from 5e D&D would you love to see in the game somehow that isn't already in Idle Champions?
Well, I am stoked to be on this show with Trevor, and besides the fact that it's this show in particular, which is like, Trevor is just really fun, and I like streaming with you, buddy. I think we have good chemistry together, like for energy levels on stream. And the game mechanic that I want to see is downtime activities. I've talked about that many times now. Give me something to do for my champions when they're not fighting, like something like they're on the bench. Got like 80-something champions on the bench. Let me send them off to do some random chore in town, make some money or something. Come back to me. Yeah,
I like that. I mean, one of my favorite game experiences of the last decade, and it's so weird, but Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Oh my god, that was the best one.
It wasn't just that phenomenal game. Love that game. Matt Ryan voicing the dude. So good. So good. It's Constantine from the show. It's just so happy. But they had an app that you could download that while you weren't playing the game, actually, I think you could do it while you're playing or not, you could send out your fleets, your pirate fleets on missions.
I remember this.
And then they would come back. It'd be like, it's going to take 2 hours. You come back in 2 hours, just like, all right, so how'd that go? Okay, we got a bunch of these supplies. And then those supplies would be in your game when you got back. And that was so cool.
I've known a few games that have done that. Like, it's not many, but that gimmick has been in a few different titles. And Idle Champions feels like it would be a natural fit for that, to have a mobile app to send people out on missions.
This is not going to surprise you at all. I really wish there was something like that in Destiny, but that's just me.
Yeah. I have heard that you like Destiny.
I have, the rumor has it that I do. For me, I'm doing great. I get to talk to my buddy Mars for an hour. I'm very happy. And as far as a 5e D&D mechanic that's not in Idle Champions. Okay, this is going to be weird and would just, I think, make people more mad than anything else. I wish you had to roll for some things.
Oh.
And, like, if when you did an ultimate, you had to roll for it. And so there's a chance that you do better or you do worse.
Oh, like you could crit an ultimate, for example, or fumble. And
then also be able to get advantage on and disadvantage on things. Like have a little mark that's like, this ultimate has advantage right now. This ultimate has disadvantage right now.
That would be, like even if we just simplified it to that, we've never done anything with advantage and disadvantage.
Anything that we ever say on this show is not a promise or guarantee that it's ever happening in the game. We're just spitballing.
This is pure conjecture as fans of the game. Like, yes, we work for the company, but we're also just fans of the video game Idle Champions in the first place. That's why we're here. That's why we have the jobs.
What?
Yeah.
My gosh. But yeah, no, we don't have anything currently with advantage and disadvantage. So I think that would be kind of cool.
That would be awesome.
We're going to go to noneown_ question. Congrats on 250 shows, Mars.
Thank you.
What are your plans for episode 500?
I don't have them. My plan for episode 250 didn't, like, crystallize until about episode 240. So my plans for episode 500, come back in a few months or a year or something. It's going to take me a while. I'll come up with something.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It'll be here before you know it.
Yeah.
Rough Rider 91 question. Is it really that dark and clear out in your time zone right now, Mars?
No, come on. This is a backdrop. Trevor is using a really cool background from the game, which is the campfire when you are resetting between missions.
It moves.
Yeah. Oh, you have the animated version.
Oh yeah.
With the
No,
fire?
I spared no expense,
That's
even though I block this every show.
Well, I respect the hustle. You know, that's awesome. The attention to detail is very good.
I'm just getting that extra processing power that I totally don't need.
I saw that Trevor had that as his background, so I decided, oh, you know what he doesn't have? The top half of that image.
It's true.
So I just snipped that and threw that up as mine, so that together we're a complete picture. Yeah.
Fantastic. I do really love when I don't have my green screen up, but I still have Zoom being like trying to find a green screen, because there's random things in my room that it tries to like put it on.
Yeah,
so
like one of your books.
Like there will be like a little crevice between the bookshelf and whatnot, and there's a little fire going. It's only scared me a few times. Let's see. Lurking Rider comes back and says, question. Trevor ran an Thank you, Lurking Rider. Trevor ran an incredible one-shot last week with V, Lauren, and you. Without necessarily spoiling what happened, what was your favorite thing about the whole event, and what can you do to convince Trevor to run another one-shot like that at an indefinite point in the future?
You always have something really nice and wholesome to say, Lurking Rider.
You do. Thank you.
So I just want to say that I appreciate you. Without spoiling, so I have talked about this before, about how, like, from kind of an overarching perspective, my favorite thing is just that Trevor was going yes and to all of our antics. But
here you go. I gotta say real quick. After the episode, after the show, after we went off live, Mars straight up tells me that was one of the most wild games of D&D I've ever had, and in my head I went, oh, that was just a normal Wednesday for my group.
For Trevor, it was a Tuesday.
Yeah.
No, that was seriously an utter delight. That was the zaniest game that I have personally played in. So seriously, thanks again. But if I had to pick a specific moment from the game and not like a general gaming philosophy for running games, then I want to say I'll sum it up as yeehaw. And if you've seen the show, then you know what moment I'm referencing. And if you haven't, then go watch the VOD.
It's true. It's available now. Yeah, that was a fun game. As far as you don't need to convince me to run a one shot ever. It's just if it will happen. So we'll see what happens. Star Chaser 43. Hey, Star Chaser 43.
Hi, Star.
Question: did you always have the T on Mars's guiding hand?
I can't remember a time when I didn't, because my use of like having T as a recurring prop for streams started when I was streaming on my own channel. It was a consistent thing that I did on my own shows back when I was doing live readings, and that has just persisted for years.
I mean, I can't imagine Mars on a Mars show without T. Like, come on now.
Lately, I've been just straight up lying to people, saying that like, oh yeah, I think my fixation on T is over with. That was just to set y'all up for the joke for Guiding Hand this morning. That was just so that nobody would have seen it coming.
So good.
I am very much still on my T game. This is Darjeeling, my third cup today, actually.
That's fantastic. I did see some Winterborn 2 in the chat. Hashtag Jeremy for familiar. Another one from the show. Let's see. Rough Rider 91 comes back and says, question, have you been putting together a best of Mars series of episodes when you take a week or two to move?
Would y'all watch that? Because like it'd be old VODs with like old information. I know I've got fans, but like, is just my silly antics enough that you would watch those?
Yeah, like, I do think it's a cool idea, but I do also see, the problem of new players coming in and thinking that that is recent information.
Yeah, I don't
also now the problem with not being able to do reruns easily on Twitch. But
Yeah, it's a lot
it's
harder
still a
to
cool
do that
idea.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's something that we can discuss in the future. There was that time I took a week off, and we all learned that when I take a week off, the channel kind of dies a bit.
The calendar, just looking at the calendar that week was so funny.
Yeah.
Just blank, 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 blank. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. We got some time between now and then, so we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Lurking Rider says, compliment Mars'
Aw.
guiding hand, parentheses, and Gar Wars guide aren't what made me start playing Idle Champions, but they are what made me grok the essence of the game. I believe that means something. I'm not.
It's a movie reference.
Ah, there we go. Apologies.
It means to know the essence of the game, to understand.
Okay. Those shows led me to watching all of the others on this channel and are a big part of why I am more of a writer here than a lurker. Thank you. It's your fault.
This is my fault. Yeah. Thank you very much again, Lurking Rider. I will mention, since you brought up Gar Wars guides, I just want to give a shout out to Gar in general, because when I started playing on September 22nd, which was like 15 days into the game being a thing that was publicly accessible. And I did not know what the heck I was doing. It was very difficult to understand anything, because this is a much different video game than I've ever played. And even back then, Garo was already helping people to understand things, including me. So thank you, Gar, for always being helpful, even
That's
way
fantastic.
back then as you are now.
Well, we have a Mars guiding hand type question. This is from Squiggles the Ease. How do I unlock the third patron?
Carefully. How do you unlock the third patron? So it's like the patrons can be unlocked in any order. So I'm not sure which one you mean by the third. If you're looking at them just like in order of like going from top to bottom in the patron window, the third one would be Strad von Zerovich.
Yep.
The land.
Yep. Totally not
yeah.
Strahd.
He's a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
You get him by completing a specific adventure in the Grand Tour of the Sword Coast campaign. You go through the Grand Tour of the Sword Coast campaign, and eventually you're going to end up in Barovia. The mists of Ravenloft claim you and sweep you away to an ancient, forgotten, forbidden land. And you go through there, and you fight a bunch of nasties. And ultimately, you beat up Strahd. And then for whatever reason, he's like, do you want a job? And you start working for him as a patron.
I mean,
that's how you get him.
He sees the talent. He sees the skill.
Apparently. He respects that you beat him up.
Got the tools, got the talent. Let's see. Okay, well, hopefully that helps you. Hopefully Strahd was the one that you wanted. So there you go. That's how you get Strahd. If not, you can catch Mars's Guiding Hand tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.
Nice plug. Yep, you can ask me on my actual show tomorrow at 8 a.m. Pacific if you want.
Black Virtue question, how do you avoid burnout with a multi-hour stream every day?
You know, it's not that streaming burns me out. Burnout is real. And burnout is something that I've experienced. And burnout is something that everybody goes through, even if it's for something that they love. I love this job. It is the best job I've ever had. It is still stressful, and burnout still happens. That's unavoidable. It's inescapable. But there are things that you can do to like diminish it and manage it and all that. So it's something that I'm still currently struggling with, but I've talked to Trevor about it. I've talked to Dylan about it. Like, they've given me solid advice about it. One thing that I do, this hat. I only wear this hat when I am at work. And when I am off work, I take this hat off. And that helps me to, like, put away the Mars persona, basically, so that I can relax. And that genuinely does help. But, you know, talking to people, communicating, you don't keep your feelings inside you. That is something that I owe to my partner, Lyra, for helping me to understand the past several years. She's definitely helped me to open up about talking about my feelings and mental health and all that. Thank you, Lyra. And yeah, we are a team here. Codename Entertainment is a team. I wasn't expecting the level of support and appreciation that I see from my, you know, staff members when I was coming into Codename Entertainment. I was expecting something, you know, but like as like the new guy, I didn't think people would really care that much. But no, people seem to like genuinely respect me and appreciate my presence here, and I can't tell you how much that means. So like when I have a problem and people are willing to listen, that means the world.
Heck yeah. Okay, we are actually getting towards the end of our time.
Oh man.
And we actually have a bunch of questions. I was thinking
Okay.
maybe this is not a promise, but you know, if you want,
Speedrun.
you could do some more questions tomorrow on Mars' Guiding Hand.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever we don't get to, let's see. In the queue, we've got Reaver, Rough Rider, Cuddleguts, Tarye, Jamik, Conradius, Tarye again, Kazax. If we don't get to any of y'all's questions, come to Guiding Hand tomorrow morning, and if I'm cool with these questions, I haven't read them yet, then I will answer them at the start of the show. How about that?
Fair. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then we're gonna go out on a question for the ages.
Sure.
Rough Rider 91 question: pizza on pineapple?
Thank you, Rough Rider, because I ask this on Mars on Monday every show.
Oh, do you really?
I do. Yeah. So, yes! Firm yes. The reason I ask every time is just because it's my favorite topping. I love...
It's your favorite?
It's my favorite. Oh, wait.
Oh, wow.
They didn't ask pineapple on pizza. They asked pizza on pineapple.
Oh, I just saw the thing that I thought was pizza on pineapple. There we go.
Pizza on pineapple.
I mixed it up in my head.
Like, no, that's disgusting. I would never. Filthy.
No,
Get that out of here.
No, I do it. I get a big old slice of pineapple and I put one of those like bagel bites on it.
Okay, no, that actually
that
sounds
good.
That sounds stupendous.
Or better yet, get 2 bagel bites.
Sandwich.
Put pineapple in the middle.
Yes, I was just thinking about that. Do the sandwich.
I kind of really want to do that now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even doing this for the show. I kind of.
Why
really
do you
wanna
live
do
on the
that.
opposite end of the country? I wish we could meet up for lunch and do this.
Someone says no, dude.
Dang
It's
it.
just so wrong. Oh boy, no. But yeah, no. Pineapple on pizza is great. Like I won't go as far as to say it's my favorite,
Yeah.
but it's great. It's a good
Yeah.
one. Yeah, big fan. All right. Well, I think that is a great place to wrap up the
Thank you,
episode.
Ryan.
Mars, thank you so much for sitting down with me, and congratulations on 250 episodes of Mars' Guiding Hand.
Thank you. And I appreciate you inviting me, Trevor. It is a high honor. And, goodbye.
Well, I was gonna say, if people want to find you, where can they do so?
Here. Basically, yeah, I live on this Twitch channel, as we have discussed a lot throughout this show. But if you want to find me outside of this Twitch channel, I'm also very often on the Idle Champions Discord, because I'm a moderator there, and I talk to people a lot. That's where I kind of started with all this community stuff in the first place anyway. I have a Twitter. Yes, I am on the Twitters. My name on there is actually my real legal name, which is @RyanBlakeHall. Please don't call me that. It feels super weird. Please call me Mars.
You could always change it.
But what if one day I liked it and then somebody else has it and I want it back?
I mean, I can tell you what to do with that. But we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But yeah, that is going to do it for this week's episode of Idle Insights. Thank you all so much for joining us. Until next week, take care of yourself.